Everybody is throwing billions into AI. But here's the uncomfortable truth. 95% of corporate AI projects fail. And in today's video, we'll break down why, what actually works, and what will work for you. A brand new MIT report just dropped, and it basically said the quiet part loud. About 95% of enterprise generative AI pilots aren't moving the needle on revenue. 5% work. The other 95% fancy dashboards with zero profit and loss impact. That's not my spicy take. That's MIT's Project Nanda, saying it after interviewing leaders, surveying teams, and reviewing hundreds of deployments. And it gets better. Roughly half of the corporate AI budgets are going into sales and marketing gimmicks, while the real wins are behind the scenes, ops and process automation. Also from the MIT coverage. So is AI a bubble? Sam Altman says yes, but a bubble built around a kernel of truth, which when translated means there is real value. But the hype train is doing a 300 km per hour on square wheels. 95% of the Gen AI pilots at companies fail to make a measurable P&L impact. Only 5% manage to achieve rapid revenue acceleration. And that's the Gen AI divide. Budgets are skewed. 50% to sales and marketing. Meanwhile, firms that re-engineer workflows and target ops see better outcomes. Build your own AI gets often stuck. The report notes that generic tools like ChatGPT see more day-to-day use than rigid bespoke tools because employees already know how to use them. Hype outruns integration. Tools don't hook deeply into workflows, policies, or data. MIT calls this a learning or integration gap, not a model gap. Agentic AI is immature and pricey. Even Gartner says that over 40% of AI agent projects would be abandoned by 2027 due to high risk, cost, and lack of value. The translation means the AI intern still needs a babysitter. Hallucinations equal to risk. Researchers at Stanford looked at how chatbots answer legal questions. They found that most general purpose bots make things up more than half the time. Using a legal chatbot for compliance is like asking a confident drunk friend for directions. They give you very specific street names and directions, half of which don't even exist. Economics are spicy. Companies are about to throw $1 trillion at AI, like it's a wedding buffet. But the result? Half the guests are still asking, where's the groom? And by 2030, data centers will almost double their electricity use, basically turning half the planet into one giant heater. Let's be fair. The kernel of truth is real. Customer support. In a real-world deployment, a Gen AI assistant improved agent productivity by approximately 14% and boosted customer sentiment. That's not lab demo. That's actual field data. At scale examples, Klarna's AI assistant handled close to 2.3 million chats a month. That's close to about 700 agents, while still maintaining customer satisfaction. And that's some operational saving which you can taste. In software engineering, a control study showed that developers using GitHub Copilot were able to finish a task 56% faster. Time is money, so less time means more features and less PR comments. So the pattern here is, win happens when AI is attached to a specific job, not a very vague platform for innovation. Analysts think companies will pour over $1 trillion into AI in the next few years, mostly on chips, data centers, and power. That's a great news if you sell GPUs or server racks, but not so great if you're an investor looking for quicker profits. Data centers already consume a lot of electricity, and by 2030, this is supposed to double, with AI demand alone set to more than quadruple. Think of it like this. Your toaster alone trips the fuse. Now imagine that with a warehouse full of GPUs. OpenAI's revenue is booming, but it's also projected to burn $8 billion next year. In other words, big growth, but still big losses. CFOs are sweating. Even Sam Altman admits that AI might still be a bubble, but unlike a fake fad, there are real fundamentals underneath, just like the internet in 1999. Valuation might be frothy, but the tech is very real. Here's the thing. Most companies end up getting better results from familiar off-the-shelf tools than some massive internal build with a flashy code name. It's basically the difference between buying a coffee maker machine that everybody knows how to use versus trying to invent your own espresso machine in the basement. One actually gets used, the other gathers dust. The smarter play is to use your AI vendor as a partner in your workflow, not just another software subscription. The winners tie AI directly to real business metrics. Things like customer retention, call handle time, or resolution rates, not vanity stats like number of prompts. And one warning, beware of the agent washing. A lot of the so called AI agents are just fancy macros that forget what they were doing 5 seconds ago. Gartner thinks many of them will be abandoned by 2027. So don't expect magic if your agent is basically Siri with amnesia. If I had to not waste your AI budget, here's the 5-point cheat sheet. Step 1, pick one pain. Support tickets take forever. Loan decisions crawl. PRs rot for days. Step number 2, choose one number to beat. In support, it could be time to finish a ticket. In lending, it could be days from application to decision. In engineering, it could be hours from PR opened to merged. That's it. One number. Tattoo it on your roadmap. Get your before score. For 2 weeks, measure the real numbers without AI. Do not trust estimates. If your team says average ticket time is about 5 minutes, the actual measured number will almost always be higher, closer to 9 minutes. People underestimate. Data doesn't. Add AI to exactly one step, not 10. Just one. For example, in the support version, AI drafts the first reply and writes the wrap-up notes. In the lending version, AI reads payslips or bank statements and pre-fills the form. Humans verify. And in the engineering version, AI writes basic tests and fixes lint so reviewers focus on real code. And step number 5, run it for 30 days and compare. If that one number gets 15 to 30% better and quality doesn't tank, scale it. If not, uninstall the damn thing and try another approach. The trick isn't to run away from AI, it is to point it at real work, demand measurable ROI, and tune out the shiny gimmicks. Sam Altman's take is the right one to end on. It's a bubble around a kernel of truth. Your job is to find the kernel, not to worship the bubble. If you like this breakdown, hit the like button and post your AI project that ate my budget stories in the comment section. And also subscribe to Server Says, where we replace buzzwords with working dashboards.